And you know, whenever summers come in India, mango curry is my favorite dish, which I have to cook and feed people.
What I love about the curry is that it's really fresh and vibrant.
The cool thing about using the mangoes here is that there's so many different varieties.
I've chosen to make a mango caramel chili tart today. I love mangoes, and for me mangoes is essentially, the beginning of summer. I lived away from India for a few years, and every season my parents would send me mangoes, and that made me the happiest girl ever. I remember opening my fridge and just getting that whiff of those fresh, if you're from Bombay, Alfonso mangoes, and I decided to use them today. My kitchen, we have this big conflict because we're all pastry chefs and everyone loves sweet, but there is a certain part of it that hates sweet. It's true. But they love chilies, so I can't stand spice just by itself. So I decided, let me just take that chili and put it in a caramel, so we have a mix of sweet, salty, and the tart gives it a nice crunch, so we have all different textures there.
So here we have mango sticky rice. Cool thing about using the mangoes here is that there's so many different varieties. They all have their special attributes. Some are super sweet, some are super floral, some are super citrusy, some are super acidic. And we just wanted to show off a couple kinds of mangoes and a couple of different things that we could do with them and give a different take and sweet, savory mango dish. Only because a lot of desserts you'll see are very one-note. So all of our desserts, we tend to call them kitchen desserts. They're not your typical pastry chef style. They're always more about balance. So we'll always have a good amount of salt to our desserts and a lot of different textures and temperatures and that sort of thing. So they're very different from your standard desserts. My working thought process for dishes and stuff, it's pretty random. A lot of times I'll wake up at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning and then I'll just start writing. As soon as I get all these ideas down, I'll come in as early as possible, and I'll actually make the dish, dissect it, make it again. And it generally takes, depending on the dish, it'll take anywhere from like 20, 30, 40 tries depending on the dish.
Well, mango curry is one of my favorite mango dishes where mango is used in a very unusual form, which is to make a curry. It's my grandma's recipe. She comes from Rajasthan, and I have given it a chef's touch by taking that Rajasthani mango curry of my grandma and giving it a South Indian touch.
The first time that I tasted this recipe was at my grandma's family, like her cousin's place. And the beautiful thing about using mangoes in this season is that they are nice, juicy, sweet, tangy. So first time I made this curry, it was without the pips. And I realized, okay, this is curry, but there's no exciting mouth feel. And then when I added the pips, they became just fantastic because you can pick them, you can bite into them, and you get that wholesome feeling that you're having a meal.
The dish we did today is a cheeseling jalmuri, which is essentially cheeselings, which are those small puffed snacks we all grew up eating, mixed with curry. What I love about the curry is that it's really fresh and vibrant, and it's also versatile. You can use it in a whole bunch of applications, but in its best form, it's eaten raw. And in this particular dish, it gives a lot of crunch and sourness, and it contrasts with the salty taste of the cheeseling. The inspiration for the dish comes from our travels across the country, and this particular dish from Kolkata. So eating jalmuri on the streets of Kolkata, but this one with a slight nostalgic twist.
It's good.